to see how we can best utilize the data. And then also looking at how people can actually have access to.
I'm not sure if it's as pronounced here as it is in Nigeria, but I guess I'm really curious to see how does e-commerce address the trust factor? Because sometimes they say we're more of a cash on delivery than an e-commerce place. What do you think?
I'm not sure this is a week or and this is a week in order to have that fully accessible to them.
Okay, great. Excellent. So my friend, my virtual friend, whom I'm flight is at 2 p.m. So we had a few issues which we were explain in the morning.
Before we get started. Boxes. And I'm able to now develop my talents and develop myself to know how to tick the necessary boxes that fulfill the criteria for money being made in the cycle of my industry. And I find that a lot of people lately, we're in the Insta generation, social media generation, a lot of people are really hungry for likes and followers, and everybody wants to be famous, everybody wants to blow, which is wonderful, but in your blowing, please understand that this is how money is made in this industry. Yes, there's great money being made from influencing, but if you want to be a successful artist, a successful fashion designer, a successful, painter or sculptor, you need to understand that ultimately there's your life as an influencer, but there's your skill and your craft, and the revenue from that comes from X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, so one of the things that I always emphasize is learning how to learn, and I think listening to you, part of what stood out to me is that the education part of it and becoming relevant. Your industry is so huge. There are so many media professionals that we knew before, we don't even know their names today because they're not relevant today. How have you been able to consistently be who you are? What type of education do you recommend to people who are wishing to be in the industry or artists themselves who can be what you are today?
You know, that's such a beautiful question because, you know, I've been spending a lot of time lately. I don't like to train or to teach because I find that I still have a long way to go. I believe I still have a lot to learn. But I often get asked to come and train and teach, and there's a new television station that's launching that asked me to train some of the anchors. And the greatest lesson I had for them, because most people, sorry, I refer a lot to television because that's my industry, but you can replace the television. Big word!
Particularly to your industry, how you look, what people see, you know, it's a visual industry.
Is that what you're calling physiology?
Well, it's all part of it. You know,
Yeah.
how do you manage your energy? How do you keep yourself in shape? I've seen some of the
To be able to own who you are. But it's crazy because once I say that this is a green bottle, then because I have followers and people who I influence, they take.
Now we have to have him up to talk to us about solving problems in the digital payments sector. And he will highlight his work in that direction in connection with EcoBank. Please give him a big hand.
To you or to the camera? To her. Okay, fine. My name is Vambai Mutinire, and I'm a TV host and producer.
All right, thank you. So I wanted to find out what you think about this initiative.
I think this is absolutely incredible. The team have done a really good job to put together a platform where we can have honest and intimate conversations with young people who are aspiring to do certain things, especially now because you find that there's such a disconnect between the reality. A lot of people are giving almost false advice of how to make it and what, you know, success looks like. So I think where we can have open and honest conversations where students and young people can plan their career paths and have the tools they need that they can't learn in the classroom is an absolutely incredible opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. So you were talking about harnessing your talent. I wanted to find out, so how do one harness the talent? How do one identify what works for you, especially when you realize that there are lots of things that you're good at? How are you able to know that, okay, this is what I want and this is what I want to go with?
Yeah, Yeah, I think there's nothing more difficult as when you're good at a lot of things, right? But I think I always believe, I'm kind of old school, I believe in following your heart. There's following your heart, and then also there's kind of things that are feasible. We're still a growing market in Africa. There's a lot of things that are still not yet full-time career options, especially depending on where you are in Africa. So I think it's also important for you to consider your environment and to know, practically speaking, you choose the thing that will allow you to be able to give yourself a dignified livelihood to begin with. At least once you're comfortable, once you're settled and established in that, you can now start to pursue the other things that you love as well. But bread and butter is very important. I want to tell everybody to follow their dreams, and no matter what, but the reality of that is that we have to earn a living as well. So creating a balance between those things that you're really good at, that you're able, that there's money in this industry and I'm able to build a career and earn a living, and then putting some money away into your savings and knowing that, okay, well, now that I'm a little bit more comfortable, I'm a little bit more established, I can start to pursue one or two of these other things part-time and see whether they'll be successful.
All right, so I want to ask you finally, if as a media person, how are you able to get your own brand for yourself, especially if you have people you are looking up to, so you don't actually follow their lead and then have your own brand for yourself?
Yeah, that's very tricky, but it all lies in identity. I think we all need to spend a little bit more time in self-discovery. And there's something very powerful that I always say to myself is that, what is that one thing about me that I know that I could put into a bottle and sell? The same thing that can separate one cool drink or one fizzy drink from another fizzy drink. What can separate me from all of the other drinks on the market? And you take that thing, and that's the thing you push forward, and you lead with it, and you market it, and you make sure people know that, well, yes, I might be in this industry and there's hundreds of us. However, this is what is unique and special about me. And when you're working with Vimbai, you're going to get this that you can't get from anybody else. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I am giving you these statistics and linking them.
So if you have an Android phone, you can download it from the Play Store. It's Oze, O-Z-E. And
encourage entrepreneurship. Invariably, when businesses do well or when new businesses come up, they feed into our business as well. Apart from that, okay, we are a public listed company. We do our business. We make some profit, and sometimes it's a way of giving back from what we make from our business. Yeah.
Okay, and again, you were talking about the digital payment revolution. I wanted to find out how is Africa embracing it?
Big time. Actually, I think it's the future. And adoption rate is very high. We outlawed our mobile banking or mobile app about 2 years ago, and we have upwards of about 5 million customers signed onto it. Okay, so and what happens is, what we have noticed is that increasingly, there are more transactions happening on our mobile app and other digital channels like our ATMs, like our internet banking, and that shows us a trend that people are moving in that direction rather than brick and mortar. Brick and mortar is coming to the banking hall and so on. Okay, so we are growing our business along that line strategically. You know also about the mobile penetration in Africa. Interestingly, compared to the other developed economies, they have existing and established infrastructure. And so turning on to some of these innovations, like using the telcos, the GSM technology and so on, has not been as fast as it has happened in Africa, where we didn't have much in place. Okay, so now that these new technologies are on board, we can see a very fast adoption rate, and so our strategy is also in that direction.
Finally, I want to find out what do you intend to do to further support the youth, especially people who came here, ideas and all that. How do you further intend to support such people?
Well, we will continue to encourage the youth. We will continue to sponsor them where we see the future going. These are the people that will grow the businesses, the big businesses of the future. And so if we sponsor them now, they become our customers in the future. If we sponsor them now and they grow successful businesses, like I said earlier, it comes back to us. Because when businesses thrive, our business also goes on.
Okay, so a follow-up questions. How are you able to identify such people and then work with them?
Through programs like this, we interact a lot. You get to know people with visionary ideas. You get to know people that are serious, who are professional, people that are thinking into the future and are serious about what they are doing. It is through programs and activities like this that we get to identify such people. And when we do, we encourage them. We support them as well.
Thank you very much. Please, your name and then your...
I'm Daniel Jampo. Yeah. I am head of audit for eProcess, our technology services company for the Agupan Group.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Name and then what you do.
My name is Najemba Rita, an agri entrepreneur from Uganda, East Africa, and I'm so happy to be here.
All right, so can you tell me your experience so far per the presentations that had gone on?
I'm so privileged to have attended this event. I've learned many things. First of all, as a younger entrepreneur, I've been empowered to know the legality in business. Then we've been having coaches. They have coached us in different areas of investment, and I've realized as I go back to Uganda, I'll be able to empower even other youth from the background and the information I got. So I'm going to change the world. I'm going to become a change agent.
Okay, so how practical have the presentation been? Not just about the theory, but how practical has it been?
Yeah, it is practical because they have been talking about the things we've been, which have been our challenges. Like we've been in partnership. Giving you an example, we've been in partnership as young people, but being ignorant of the things we have to do before we agree to do something, before we consent about anything, knowing what to do and knowing when to do it. Answering the 5 questions. Most of the teaching they have been empowering us. They have addressed the 5 questions we've been having. So we know when we go back, the areas where we've been ignorant about, we are going to apply and do practically the things we are taught.
Okay, so what one thing can you say has benefited you very well from this program? What's just one thing that you think has benefited you, that when you step out of here, it is something that you're going to work with, just that one thing?
I've realized Africa, we have brains. And if we only got people like Tom Chris to empower our minds and motivate us, we have talent on the African continent, and I know we have that potential, but it's just because we've not been having these people coming out to tell us, well, you can make it. You can exploit that potential in you. Your talent can be exploited, and you can do much beyond what you think. So I know every African talent which has been here is going to do mighty and great things when they go back there. They are going to apply, and we know the African continent is not going to remain the same.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tell me your name and then what you do, where you coming from.
Okay, my name is Mohammed Osman. I'm a Ghanaian, but I'm based in India. I'm studying in India, computer science engineering, and then now I'm into building smart products.
Okay, so can you tell me how you heard about this program?
Okay, actually, a friend in India who is into artificial intelligence referred me to this program, and then India, the government takes him around for tours to explore more about artificial intelligence. So he was like, he found this on the internet. So you also, as a potential entrepreneur, you can just participate in it and then learn something.
So how has this initiative or this program benefited you practically?
Practically, right from what I learned on the Thursday, I learned from one speaker who is known by Christian. Okay, so he told us to write a book. He divided us into group and told us to write a book on the spot. Now, this idea of writing a book, I converted it into we creating a business on the spot, a joint and entrepreneur joint venture on the spot. So this is practical example. We are creating a company out of what someone made us to write a book. We are now creating a company out of it, just on foot. So.
Okay, so finally, I want to find out, looking at the presentations that have come so far, and then maybe what you have learned so far out there, what you think that can be done, or what is it that we are doing differently that is not really working out there that you have picked up from here?
Okay, so the thing is, what I have learned now, what I'm going to implement from today is, I want to now take whatever I'm learning there and implementing it here in Africa. Like practically, if I'm building go-karts there, now I want to teach the Africans how to build the go-karts. It's not about me building it and putting it in the market for people to buy. No, we can build it together, learn the technology together, learn the application together, and make it happen here. So if a lot of people, a lot of Africans are able to do it or are able to learn it, then Africa is definitely growing. We are putting Africa on the next level. So this is my ideology. This is what I think.
Thank you very much. Okay, so you tell me your name and then what you do.
My name is Tom Chris Emewulu. I'm the president and founder of SFAN, Stars from All Nations.
Okay, so please can you tell us a little bit about the idea behind or the brain behind this initiative?
Yeah, so the idea behind the Student Entrepreneurship Week Pan-Africa is really, really simple. If you look at the trends in unemployment situation in Africa today, it's becoming incredibly difficult for people to understand what to do with their lives after school, after college. So we thought it's important to create that platform to equip them with the skills they need, the know-how of building an idea into a marketable product or service and scaling it and making it a global brand. We believe that youth entrepreneurship is one of the key ways to solve the issue of unemployment in Africa. So we pioneered this project last year. For the Ghana edition, we held it with British Council. We had over 400 people, which we partnered with you to organize. And this year, we thought we should make it Pan-Africa because the borders are increasingly coming down. So we need to create that ecosystem to bring thinkers across the continent together to spark up that learning moment, networking opportunity, and access to funding.
Okay, so my next question will be, you realize that most of these programs, you go and it's more theoretical. I want to know, how practical is this?
This is a very important question. Most of the events we see today ends up being a talk shop. So this is a 3-day program. The first 2 days, we went down to the basics of end-to-end aspects of building a business, conceiving an idea in the economy we live in today, which is more fluid than what it used to be. How do you create a business that moves with the trend of time? So how do you evaluate your idea to make it adapt it to the market? How do you create the path to market? So our trainers really went down to those simple basic areas, including how to choose a team member, the legal aspects of documenting your processes and creating some level of discipline around your work, documenting agreement and stuff like that. We had Susan Butter, who is a legal advisor for one of the biggest companies in Ghana, Guinness Ghana, who came in to deal with that aspect. Then the second day, we went to the real critical part, which is the entrepreneur himself. Now, you understand that ideas most of the times are a dime for a dozen, but the distinguishing factor there is the team behind the idea. Because take ideas like Airbnb or Uber or Snapchat, for instance. These are things that we never thought anybody could pay. How would you ever think that you bring a stranger into your house and give him your bed and stuff like that, and he pay you and you are comfortable? Today, Airbnb is one of the most valuable companies in the world. So the people build the business. The people give life to the business. But if the founder doesn't have life, the business automatically dies, right? So how do you create the energy that helps you to master your elements in the right environment, right? So our trainers went down to those, details of how to manage yourself, how to really invest in yourself, because the biggest work we do is not our job or the business, it's us. We are the biggest project we are building. When you are able to build yourself to that level where you have excess of, values to give, then you can bring it into your work. Many times, so many people are working but not producing results. We are online doing so many other things without discipline, without focus, without traction. So those are some of the things we did yesterday. Now today, the final day, is for high-level conference and the pitching. So today we listened to high-level keynote speeches from, representatives of multinationals and, some of the companies we know. We have a representative from EcoBank, the e-process, Daniel Jampo, and we had beautiful speeches. We have Vimbai Mutinhiri, who has been, seen in different aspects in the media. So she talked about harnessing and monetizing your talent. Having talent is not enough, but making it profitable to you and to your stakeholders is the most important. So yeah, our goal is really, really simple. We want to build a platform for young people to stand on and launch their careers and their businesses, right? Because we believe that young people are smart. If we can give them the skills and the opportunities to engage the real world, we believe that magic will happen. It's not enough to blame the government, blame the society, blame our families. Now, this is my time. My motivation, our motivation as a company, at SFAN, our motivation is that this is our time. And as someone rightly said, this is the last call for young people to do something before the world goes into the bin. So that's what we're doing. We want to take this globally. And starting from here, we're moving forward.
So I understand that it was a 3-day part program. So I want to find out, so after the 3 days, now you're done with them, what next? Do you just leave them, or you have a system in place where you are able to follow up, so that at the end of the day, if next year you are supposed to organize, you know that, okay, so this person was part of this program, and at the end of the day, this and this is where the person has gotten to. So how do you have a way monitoring all these things?
Absolutely, yes. So part of what we did today was, through these 3 days, is the journey of entrepreneurship starts in very simple formats. First, you have education. You come into a community, and then you refine your idea, you build a business, and you get investment, and you scale it. Without education, people misuse the money they have. Without the right contacts, you burn out, or you don't have access to the market. So how do we bring them in, equip them with skills, put them in a community, and give them access to money? We have partnering investors. The pitch is going on right now outside there with QI Holdings. He's talking to the potential investees. And so what we do is, now that we've trained them, they become part of our community, and we've given them access to investment funding. They will be pitching for that up to the tune of $100,000. Apart from the pitching and the money and all those processes, we've also given some prizes. Our partnering organizations, one is Bridge for Billions. They are based in Germany. They have, I think it's a 90-day program for entrepreneurs. After that, you are immersed into a global ecosystem. So 3 winners have already taken that. Now we also awarded 3 Student Entrepreneur of the Year from this program. They'll be getting tuition, a scholarship on their tuition, to go to Silicon Valley for a program at Draper University. So yeah, it is really incredibly very simple. We know there's a huge gap, and so we are contributing our bit as SFAN, as a company, to create a platform, equip them with skill, immerse them into a community of like-minded individuals, and then give them access to support systems like mentoring and money. And from there, we can drive the change across the continent. and they will do the same thing in their regions.
So finally, how do people get to be a part of this program?
Very simple. You can go to sfanonline.org. Go to sfanonline.org. Go through the companies, click on the menu options, go through company. You join us, subscribe to our newsletter. You join for free. When we have training programs like this, you get to know. The other way is you can reach out to us to be a country ambassador in your country. And from there, we equip you with the tools you need to do the same thing in your country. Our goal is to reach every young person on the planet. Every young person on the planet, because we live in a global village today. So we want to equip young people with the skills they need to unlock their potentials.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.